The clip on the left here, this is Abreu. This was the first swing that I had ever seen from him. And this was rookie of the year, right? So if you, the side view, this is that's kind of like up above and to the side. So if you scroll through that close up view, towards the end, it says, his rookie year, he hit 317 with 36 jacks, 107 RBIs, and a 580 something slugging percentage. And this was the first time I really looked at his swing in slow motion. And when I saw it, I was like, this is one of the greatest hand passes I've ever seen. So we're going to start there. We're going to start, on the left part of the screen here from the launch position, which, I'm a huge fan of teaching, style and rhythm, and then really mechanics don't start until launch. And from this position where he launches his hands from kind of his shoulder behind his armpit to when he extends through all the way, that's where the money is made. Okay, how you finish one hand follow through, two hand follow through, low follow through, high follow through. None of that stuff I really care about. But if we start him at launch, what I want you to take notice of is how the knob of the bat, and we talk about bat drag and all that kind of stuff, but watch how the knob really works in front of his body. So a lot of people are going to say, he's using his hands here, right? Like if you look at his hands, they're moving faster than his shoulders are rotating. His hands are moving in front of his armpit. Okay, so what I see with amateur players is they spin so much with their shoulders that they actually leave their hands behind their shoulders, okay, towards the catcher. This is the opposite. He's pulling his hands in front of his body. If you look at his left bicep, he's going to clear space in front of his left bicep and his left forearm as he pulls the hands out in front. It's an absolute perfect path. That's why we do so many, all my online academy members, we're doing, so many upper body isolation drills. This swing, those of you that are part of the academy, you've seen it because it's one of my best, most, I don't know, it's just the best example of a proper hand path you could possibly have. Sometimes what I'll tell players to do is look, the knob needs to kind of work through the front elbow. Okay. Almost like a cat chasing its tail. And if you watch him, that's exactly what's happening. Okay, he's pulling the knob kind of where it's replacing where his front elbow is. His front elbow's not working up, okay, violently. It's working around and then it's going to finish up, but it's not pulling up right away. His back elbow is down, but it didn't come down in front of his belly button, right? His back elbow is coming down behind. That's the key. Back elbow has to drop, but it's going to drop after the hand's clear. We got to get those hands out in front. And then obviously he gets to contact, and then boom, there goes that right arm extending all the way through. We talked about that a little bit on, maybe that's why he's a good off speed hitter. So this swing on the right, the other one, this is a very low pitch. In fact, it was titled slider. Okay, so this is an off speed pitch, okay, that he hits a home run on, and I wish that home run replay wasn't there. But if we stop him, at launch, notice where his front shoulder is, down and in. Okay, we can it's the same position there on the left. These are different swings. Okay, the knob of the bat's kind of facing the catcher a little bit. Okay, as he goes to rotate though, watch what we preach all the time, the bat staying right next to his head. As he goes to turn, and this pitch is down, so the lower the pitch, typically players will drop their hands in the launch position. He hasn't done that yet. Okay. So you can see on the left, he's a little bit shorter to the ball where that bat is over the top of his shoulder. Okay. Where this one's more next to the shoulder. That's because this pitch is down and we're going to drop our hands. But again, notice how his hands are still up. Even here, he's almost at his approach, and his knob of the bat and the barrel are about even to, level to the ground. And then he drops the barrel in. Okay, so he doesn't bottom out his barrel path until right about there. And then if we continue, that's the plane of the pitch coming at him. So you can see he bottoms out right at the bottom of that pitch plane, and then he stays through it. So you can see he's a little bit full, but watch his right arm save. So you can see that extension. And I did so many lessons this week where players were pronating their right wrist over their left wrist so violently. and it just leads to ground balls. We don't stay on plane as much. And notice how he never, hardly ever rolls his right wrist over his left wrist until, I don't know if he ever does, even into his follow through. So again, the key to that is when we get to heel plant, for the most part, whether it's a high pitch or a low pitch, we have to be at a proper launch position. Okay. And again, that's top hand, somewhere between the ear. If I draw a horizontal line from his top hand at launch, it's usually somewhere from the ear to the chin. Okay, so it's got to be there. The front shoulder's got to be down. Okay, the front hip's going to be open, whatever. Then, as we start to swing, if it's a high pitch, our hands will kind of go like this, and then we'll finish with our hands kind of up here towards our chest. Okay, if it's a low pitch, they still start there. They're just going to go down a little bit lower here, and they're going to follow that same route kind of all the way to a low pitch. And that's exactly what we see here. The problem is most of the time when players go to hit a low pitch, I'm going to change colors here so we can tell the difference. Their hands will go this way. They'll go down, straight down, then they'll go like this, then they'll go like this, and then they try to work with them back up. Okay, you can see he's not doing that. Okay, so when the old school guys used to say A to C, well, nobody knows where C really is. C is different on a high pitch and a low pitch, but they're right in saying that, you're trying to take a direct path. If it's a high pitch, we're going to, try to be as flat as we can to that pitch. If it's a low pitch, we're still going to have kind of those same moves. It's just going to be on a lower and forward trajectory. So that's the key, is those hands can never go straight down. We never want the knob to go down sharply and up sharply. We want it to be as smooth of an arc across our letters as we possibly can. So again, Abreu, this is a very consistent hand path. This isn't a barrel drop. I'm swinging up and I'm going to hit, 210 and I'm going to hit 40 jacks. That's not what this is. This is a guy that's a hitter. He's going to make a lot of solid contact. We saw his exit velocities where it is. Even though he's not doing crazy stuff, he doesn't have a huge leg kick. He's a large human. Let's not get carried away. He's got a weight shift. He's stepping forward. He's 240 pounds. Okay, but he's a line drive hitter. That swing plane that he has is very similar to a Miguel Cabrera, a guy that just had 3,000 hits, and he's got Does he have 500 home runs, or is he close to 500 home runs? I mean, there's certain you have guys that are big and strong and they can have a consistent hand path. Good things are definitely going to happen.